Okay, three, two, one. Hello, this is Nicholas Tanek with your kinky friends, and oh my God, I have a wonderful guest with me from the Netherlands. Yes, and we're going to talk about sadism. We're going to talk about leather. We're going to talk about impact play, and we got some guest questions that should be interesting. Please welcome the magnificent Mistress Manita. Say hi.
Hi, hi, Nicholas. Nice to be here and talking to you. It's an honor for me. So let's start it.
Well, the honor is mine first. So,
Of
first of
course.
all, before we get into your professional life, um, let's. I always ask this. You are out as a kinky person, meaning that you're kind of proud to be kinky.
Yes.
In the BDSM community, and the Netherlands is a country that really celebrates that in many ways, you know, um, which is awesome. Which I need to get there. I need to visit. I literally,
You
not
have to visit my party.
that like yeah, and I'm not just doing it for like sexual purposes or anything like that. I feel like I like it's always a country ever since I was a kid. I wanted just to explore it and discover it, as opposed to other, I guess, European countries. Um, but let me ask you this: when was the first time you were out and proud to be a kinky person? Was it with one person, like in the bedroom? Was it at a dungeon? Was it on in the? I believe they call it the red light district. Um, was it at a
Mhm.
party? Like what? When was it? When you were like, yeah, this is the way I am.
It is a kind of fun story or special one because I didn't know it at once, but I met a guy. He was 10 years older than I am. He still is. And he was busy with the BDSM. And we liked each other. And yeah, I was always open minded. And I was thinking, okay, if you liked it, do your thing. I was not familiar with it, how to react or all those things that he was telling me and the little books that he had with him. But after a few months and we liked each other more and more, he left in after the weekends those books with me, and I was looking and I thought, "Ooh, this is really fun. This is quite how you call it kinky, quite exciting." And yeah, it's getting a little bit excited about it when I read the stories, and I think, oh, maybe I like this more than I think. So when he went back, we discussed it and we tried a little bit to play and two things. And at one point, we went to a swingers club, and at the top of that building, you had a dungeon, and that was they called it the church in that location, but it was a dungeon, and that was the first time that I was going to play with him, with the stuff that was hanging there, and I thought, nah, okay, I'm going to try that and doing my things, and at one point I realized, this is really horny. This is great. Really great. I want to do more like this. This is great. So that was my first real experience that I thought, okay, now I know this is really my thing. It goes by nature.
That's awesome. See, with
Yeah.
me, with me, I had to kind of like, um, I don't want to say talk women into it, but I just constantly would like say like I want to be kinky, like I want to be kinky, I want to be, and eventually, like my story with Lynn and everything like that. Eventually, she's like, yeah, I want to be kinky too. So,
Yeah.
but like I said, true love is not having to clear your browser history.
Mm-mm.
So, um, uh, all right. So you are a professional dominatrix, correct?
Yes. Yeah.
And there are different kinds of dominatrixes. There are the more sensual kind, and then there are the sadistic kind, and then there's everything in between. Some people, as my my friend Genevieve says, a Jacqueline of all trades. You know, what would you, instead of jack of all trades, meaning they do everything?
Oh, okay.
Yeah. What would you say your specialties are?
I'm very good with the bull whips. I'm very good with hitting. So with all kind of whips, but the bull whip is something what I really like to hit. And I'm a sadist. Some a sadist who really likes to hurt people who like to receive it. So in a normal way, not hurting people who doesn't like it, but if they have fun and you have a good connection and it goes one way, it turns. So you like it, I give it, and we have a good connection together, and then it is yeah great. And I do a lot with my energy. I'm quite I have a lot of energy. I always feel people before I play with my energy and to observe them a little bit in me and play with their mind. And that is what I like to do. So my play is hard, but also very sweet and with a lot of attention.
Interesting. One of the questions that I was going to ask, but I believe you already answered it, was about impact play. There are, floggers. There are, riding crops, bullwhips. There are, like you name it. They're all great. They're all
Yeah,
great. But you would say the bullwhip is the
yeah, yeah. That's the one I like the most. I
why?
call him my I call it my child because that is one. I have one bullwhip that is it is not a long one. It is about uh, 90 centimeters. So it is very handleable. If you do like this, it is enough. You can play it almost everywhere. But it is it's how you call that? It makes my arm longer. It gets into me when I hold it. It's me and the whip, but the whip and me getting one. So it is. I can do anything with that thing. And that
Like I would, for example, my dom would be so uncoordinated. She'd probably knock stuff over the shelves, with it. So how do you how do you master the art of the bullwhip, and how do you keep it safe?
yeah, you have to love it and you have to practice a lot. And of course you need people who like to be whipped with it, so that you can use it very often. And
Okay.
yeah, it is. I have many bull whips, but that one, what I was talking about, is my favorite one. I have it already for many, many years. And I have 20 more, but they are not so special as this one. This one, I can do really what I said. Everything what I have in my mind or when I want to hit, I can hit.
Wow.
And that's why it's so special. But give me a longer one, I cannot do it because it is not my whip or it's too long. I cannot control it, and everything what I cannot control, I don't like. So
What do you What do you think of horse whips? I actually have a horse whip, which is basically the difference between a bull whip and a horse whip is the horse whip's like this long stick that's straight, and then it has I'd say a semi-long, half as long kind of, whip. So it's like, you sit on the horse and you go, bah, bah, you know what I mean?
yeah,
What,
I do.
yeah.
I had a horse for myself many years ago, so I do.
Okay. Oh, what? Okay, we'll get to CBT. All right, we'll get to
That's
see some.
already on the list.
Yeah, that's already on the list.
Yeah.
So, all right. Beside, all right. Let's just get to CBT. What is the most brutal thing you've done, CBT wise? CBT, for those who don't know, is cock and ball torture. So, what is the most brutal thing that you could think of that you have done to
Okay. Now,
somebody?
if everyone is standing up, sit down. That's better. I I, I was into my studio and someone had the idea. We both uh, thought about it that we can put his balls on a piece of wood with a hammer and nails.
Oh, yeah.
So we put his balls on the wooden stick, and the hammer was from my grandpa. That was the most funny part of it. With some thing in the middle when you can pull out the nail again. So that was really great. That
Oh,
was quite fun. It was afterwards. I thought,
It's really-
but at the moment, yeah,
did you ever see the movie? It's a French movie called Mistress.
no,
It's
I don't look like a lot of movies. I don't.
oh, you don't watch a lot of movies? Okay. So there's a movie with Gerard Depardieu, and I may be pronouncing his name wrong, but it's a French movie. It's from like the 70s, and it's about a guy, a burglar who breaks into a house, and it turns that the woman's a dominatrix, and they fall in love. You know, yeah. And there's a scene in it where one of her clients gets his penis and balls nailed to a piece of wood, and it's real. It's like it's absolutely like it was done. It was not special effects. It's real. Yeah,
It
check it
wasn't me. It wasn't me. But I did
out.
it, but it wasn't me.
All right, so let's also talk about sadism. And, sadism comes in all forms. You know,
Yeah.
not just cock and ball torture. We already talked about nailing, balls to wood, and stuff like that. So, without the cock and ball torture, what would you say one of the most sadistic things you have done to somebody?
Yeah, a lot of needle play, about 40 needles in one nipple or into a penis, all long needles, also about 30 needles to the top. Um, yeah, what did I with more? Also with the nails and the hammer on the same wooden stick, the nipples, and then on the wood you put your glass of wine, and then he can serve the wine on the.
Wait, back up. Say it again.
How you call it? It is a plank, or how you call that? Not a wooden stick, but what is flat, what you use on the wall, on the
Yeah,
floor. How you call it in
yeah,
English?
plank. Yeah,
A
plank.
plank.
Yeah,
A plank.
tray, plank.
A plank, and we put it down, and we put his nipples on it like this, and then I put with the hammer and the needle some needles in it, and then he has to stand up with the plank with a glass of wine, and then he can serve the people.
So wait. You basically nailed
His
a,
nipples.
a tray to a man's nipples
Yes.
so he could serve wine.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, that's going in the introduction. Nailing a tray. I gotta write. I gotta write this because I don't want to forget it. To man's nipples so he can serve
Uh,
wine.
you
That's
you
classic.
yeah, it is.
So we did have somebody. I can't pronounce this. Jiffers. How do you practice CBT in a safe way?
Now you always try to do it safe.
Mhm.
That's yeah, that depends what you are going to do, because you can do so many things, but everything what you do is always a risk. So completely 100% sure, you never know.
Mhm.
Especially when you're doing very hard things, as the parts what I just told you about, then you let people sign a contract that they approve to do this, or they uh, that they want to
Oh,
do this. Yeah,
that
if you are a professional and you do something in we discussed it and we are both okay, but he is taking the risk because there's always something what could happen.
so
You
you actually make them sign contracts?
not all the time, but if you do those things what I just told you about
Yeah.
it about that is so heavy stuff and that is something what he wants. So I'm going to do it, and we sit both with the dictionary to see how it works and how the balls were inside, and if it is okay if we put it there or there. We find out together, and we think we know it, but you never know for sure. Even a doctor doesn't know for sure.
Yeah.
You always take a risk.
Definitely interesting. You
Yeah,
know,
if you feel booties in yourself, then you also take a risk, and you have to. Yeah, yeah.
it's funny. There's a flip side to that too. My one of my best friends ever, who's been on the show many times, she's a submissive, and she makes her dom signs contracts. She not only does she makes her doms sign contracts, but she makes them like write essays on why they have to earn her submissiveness. You know what I mean? I thought that was funny.
You're sure she's submissive.
What?
You're sure she is submissive.
No, she like when my dom and I play with her, she goes to town with a paddle. She
Uh-oh, bad connection.
oh, I still hear you.
Yeah, it's stopping your.
Hello?
Hello, yeah, I hear you.
Yes. So get,
No, of course not.
some people have castration fantasies. I don't know. It happens. Okay, so Erin asks, um, here if you could, did you ever start out as a submissive, or did you just go into straight being dominant?
No, I thought it was a funny question that she was thinking that.
Well,
But no,
some
I did.
I
Yeah, a
know a
lot of
bunch of.
them. A lot of them. I know, but I'm not. I tried it once with my ex-husband. I think you always have to try the other side before you can say you don't like it. And I'm sure I don't like it. I want to be dominant and I feel good with it. And the submissive side, yeah, I can be jealous sometimes how people can, yeah, that it goes so far and so much, um, yeah, what's the word, an English word for it? Yeah, so much love that they inhale when they play with you and they go on for days and keep it and loving it for a few days, all the things what they have experienced with you and talk about it for days. And I think that's something that, yeah, I can enjoy it also. And I also think about 1 day or 2 days that maybe of the things that I did, but not so extreme as my slave girls do or my slaves.
Okay.
And that
And
is something that has to be great to experience. But
another question Erin asked was, um, when handling a first timer, how do you conduct your sessions as opposed to, someone who you have experience with?
um, I always tell them if they call me how it goes. Then I always say, yeah, we first, if you come to the studio, we always drink something first into the studio so that you can feel the atmosphere of the room. If you want to, you can walk around, see all the stuff, touch it. I ask you your don'ts, your fantasies, the things what you really turning you on. Um, yeah, look around again if there are things that you are really and really want to try, and then you take a shower, come back, and we're going to start off easy with the things that you told me, your fantasies, maybe some stuff that you picked out. You can try it out if it is just so great as that you think. But it is also quite often that people have fantasies or um, things in their head that they can be really be tough. I'm quite a tough mistress, and then they really think, oh, I can do this. I can take about 50 strokes, and whoop, whoop, whoop. And then you give two, and they are really almost crying. And that is the difficult part. How you tell them that they are a pussy? You don't say that. You think that, and you take another whip who is yeah, making a lot of noise, but not do anything, but just give them the feeling that they are tough. That's how I go with first timers.
Okay, so Nylon Fox asks, does Mistress Manita like strap-on play?
Yeah, I really love that.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I have a few. I also have one on my website. It's a very big one. That's
Oh, I saw
one.
that.
Yeah, it was really great. I did one time. I did a show. Maybe you know him also in America. I think so. Erwin Olaf, the famous photographer.
I'm familiar. I don't know the work very well, but I'm familiar with the name. Yeah.
He was doing something in Paradiso in Amsterdam, a big benefit gala, and I was asked to do there a show. And um, the team was fellas in Donderland. So fellas from the big dick. So I was doing with the big dick on the show on stage. I had to fuck a guy there, and I was fellas in Donderland in Vlaas. Yeah, it was great. It was quite an yeah. I think it is not so funny now because it is Donderland. You understand what I mean? Fellas in Wonderland. You have
Mm-hmm.
the movie, and this was something like it, but they make from Alice phallus, just phallus from a penis in Wonderland, but that was Donderland, like hell. No, yeah. Okay,
Definitely. Okay, so
leave it. That's too complicated to explain from Dutch to English.
let me ask you this: what I mean, your experience, and you have experience. What was your very first session like, and what would you say you would have done differently?
My very first uh, session was in 2000. That was with Mistress Maxine, and she was my teacher. And I was walking with her at the same time with the client. And the first thing what I had to do was helping with putting in a catheter and uh, undo the bladder. So it was not fun. It was not really something what I had in mind for my first time, but that was the guy she always picked out uh, to see how the girls that she chose if, if they were okay or something like that. But it was not so funny.
Okay, and then we got another question: is it true most politicians are masochists?
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know anyone.
I
But
I I could honestly say, because I have a friend who in DC, Washington DC, who she's Skylar Rain. She goes, Yeah, they are incredible masochists. Okay, let's talk about the Netherlands. Are you in Amsterdam or another part of the Netherlands?
I live in Amsterdam, but I'm working in Zaandijk, that is near to Zaanstad, Zandam.
Okay.
Alkmaar, that.
Now, what's interesting to me is that um, uh, the Netherlands and the Dutch are very sexually expressive. Um, so have you? I'm sure you've traveled to other places in the world and in the country and stuff like that. Why do you think that the Netherlands are so? And I mean this in a beautiful way. Like they're beautifully sexually expressive, as opposed to other countries. Why do you think that is?
Why this what? I didn't.
Why do you think the Netherlands um, are more sexually expressive than other countries? Yeah.
Yeah, that is also something what I can say what I think, but I don't know if it is like that. But yeah, if I compare with other countries, I think we are a very open kind of people. We are much more comfortable in being honest very quickly and also in public, especially into the BDSM scene in the Netherlands. People are always um, very free about maybe the first time you meet them, they're already telling the most intimate things to each other. Uh, that is quite funny that this question is coming now because I had a conversation last week about this. That sometimes um, it is too much that people tell you on the first time you met them. Because do you have also have munches in America?
Oh yes. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Now, yeah, I host one here in Amsterdam,
Oh yeah.
and
Yeah.
yeah, and that is something where I speak to a lot of people for the first time, and that is are so many things that people tell you, and that you think, yeah, it's really unbelievable that they tell you that right away. The trust they have in you to tell you that and discuss it with you. How do I cope with this? Where can I go with this? Or is it terrible that I think like this? Or yeah, uh, it is special to help people on their way into the BDSM, but sometimes I'm quite surprised how easy the people talk to me. Like, yeah, you had someone here in the magazine, and she was always answering all the difficult questions, and I feel myself a little bit like that into the BDSM here in the Netherlands. That tell Manita and you get an answer, something like that. But
Interesting.
yeah.
So Mike Chase with two T's for some reason. Um, does do you like discreet public play? If so, can she share some interesting ones? You don't have to share if you don't want to, but do you like public play?
Yeah, I play a lot of public, but not public in the way to shock other people. I'm not going to do it in the middle of Amsterdam, but I have a party where I play very often, or go to places where I play. I like to play with an audience. That's my favorite thing to do.
Yeah, yeah. So like in a dungeon or a play party or something like that.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
In
Yeah,
a safe space. In a
in a
safe,
safe space. Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
Many years ago, I did also outside sessions, but yeah, that is something when you're getting older. Uh, I think you're going to use your brains a little bit more, and
Yeah.
then you think, yeah, but they can be walking kids here, or people who are not like you when you do this, and you get a little bit more, yeah, vanilla.
No, no, definitely.
Yeah, that's a bit apart. And one
And,
is no, I
and then
don't
we
think I don't do that.
okay, so let's talk. All right, where are we now? Chastity. Um, chastity is a major part of femdom, especially of forced feminization and sissification and stuff like that. Do you have anybody in chastity now?
Now, shall I tell you
Okay.
why?
Yeah, please.
Yeah, no, because yeah,
It's a
a while
responsibility.
ago, that's also, but I also think it's a shame to put it away, to put it in a cage, because when you put it too long in the cage, it doesn't work anymore. So what yeah,
It's funny that you say that because my dom loves my cock. She so
that's what
she
I
let
mean.
yeah.
That's what I
And
mean.
the
I
longest
can do
I
it
did
to other ones, to other people, but but also when I'm playing, I like to, I love to play with dicks who are hard and not in a cage. Then I can hit them and I can hurt them. If they are in a cage, they are very close, it's very safe. But I learned a little bit about it a few months ago when with all the corona shit, what was happening, and still happening. I made a new website for the of the virtual webcam sessions and chat sessions and calling and whatever. And then the question was coming very often about the cage. And I was really thinking, yeah, what's the fun part of it? Someone has to explain it to me. Now, someone did, okay, so I now can understand it because especially with this guy, I can understand it because he's terrible. His wife can never sleep. So that is a reason that he has to wear it. But yeah, I like to do the things what I like and what I
that. Uh, and,
yeah
and and as someone who's into femdom, it's about your pleasure, not theirs.
exactly
Yeah.
exactly.
All right, so we're gonna take it up. We will take it up and we'll make it happier, but I do want to bring it down a little bit. Um, the world seems like it's falling apart with the COVID
Um,
19. How are you? And not even in a kink sense. I mean, if you want to talk about the kinks, BDSM and kink, that's fine. But how are you dealing with it personally?
yeah, I thought it was a terrible time. Also, I had the first 2 weeks. I thought it was like I was in a bad movie. I couldn't believe it. I was felt that really because on the 13th, I still on Thursday we had the first announcement, and that was the moment that I heard that I was coming up out of my studio to the club, and we just heard the whole conversation. So it was one day before my BDSM party. Then we heard that we can do the party still, but with not more than 100 people. So then you have to make a decision what you are going to do. So we decided we do it. We skip the rest. We do 100 people. And Sunday after that, we had the lockdown. So our people on Fat Life uh, falling all over me because I went through with the party and it was not very blah blah blah. You know, people talking like that. But yeah, I didn't do anything wrong. It was what our guy here said, spoke and said, "You can do it." So we did, and we had a great evening. And now 4.5 months later, I'm glad I did because it was a very good memory to have. And then you get the bad movie part and the point that you are, uh, yeah, stay in your house for 2 weeks and be completely with yourself. I'm not so good with being alone. That's also was quite difficult. But I also have 4 neighbors who are also single girls. And at one point, everyone was a little bit fed up with it. So one after another was coming here from, oh, we can sit on your couch. It's big enough. We can watch a movie. And finally, we had a very good time with the 4 of us with making bars from our backyard, give them names and drink one evening in that garden and then evening in that garden and talk about how you do it and do your groceries and the how you call that hamstring the do your groceries and buy a lot of toilet paper and all that shit. That was really, was it also in America that they did that with all the toilet paper that
Oh
was
yeah, yeah,
out
definitely.
and it was really it was really like a movie or not.
It
It, it, it,
yeah,
it was
it's
not
like
getting
a
in my head that it was real.
it's like an apocalyptic movie.
Yeah.
And the crazy thing is that I live right in a very beautiful, very old, decaying um, Victorian mansion, basically, and it was like a commune. Like you go in one room and there's Natalia painting, and then you go in another room and there's Baron and his women watch TV, and then there's Luna and my dom cooking and planning food and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It was so fun, and now it's like we can't do that. The only time I leave the house is to walk the dog, um, to buy food, and to buy wine. That's
Yeah. Exactly. Right.
all right. So, um, I was going to ask you, um, about personal relation dynamic. Are you with somebody? But you said you were single, correct?
Well, yeah.
Okay. And so if there's anybody who wants to bow to Mistress Manita, in the Netherlands, you do it.
Well,
um,
introduce yourself.
all right. So what are some ways? Because I'm working on a documentary about, I'm producing a documentary about, being creative during the pandemic, and but this is your kinky friend, so we talk about kinky. So, what are some kinky things you've been doing to keep yourself and other people kinky during the pandemic?
I think that that's above the law. It's not allowed.
Yeah, it's a loaded question.
Yeah. Yeah. Now, uh, not really. I started my new website with the online things.
Okay, and what is the website? Please tell us the website.
The website is meesteressmanita.nl.
Okay.
Now, I have the one with .com. That's the old one. That's the one from the BDSM studio in Zandijk and the BDSM party every second Friday of the month. And the new one is .nl. And that's really about, all the things what you can do online. I did a special photo shoot outside. Everything is outside in the open because you can play a little bit outside also. That's
Yes,
in
definitely.
yeah. So and we can replay in here again. That is allowed to do studio sessions again. So I started again on the 6th of July with doing sessions.
All right.
And
Wonderful.
yeah. We can play again. Yeah.
Now, let me ask you a quick question about safe words. Everybody's They use different. The typical safe words is red for stop, yellow for slow down. You know,
I
and
use stop and mercy.
I'm sorry. Say it again.
I I use stop and mercy.
Stop and mercy. Okay.
Yeah.
And now the kink rabbit hole goes very deep. It really does. There's things that I'm into that I never thought I'd be into ever. Like
Me too. Me too. Me too.
I never thought I'd own a custom made chastity cage. So and there's new things that I'm learning. And I'm like I like to consider myself as someone who is studying, and wants to learn more and wants to try new things. So is there anything that is, even though you're an experienced dom, is there anything that you want to try that you haven't tried before or that you're just getting into?
Now I was reading in now for that Findom play. Findom. That money.
Financial.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I had a lot of people who were asking me that, and I didn't know what it was. So I looked it up last week and read everything about it. And um, one of the guys I asked, "Can you tell me what's so fun about it?" Because before I do something, I always like to understand what the fun part is for someone else, so that I uh, can feel what they have to feel. That's very important for me. That if I do something, that yeah, I understand why are you doing this?
A lot of it is accounting work. Like you have to, like there's a responsibility. Like there's the typical superficial femdom where it's just like pay me you loser pig, but then there's like no, you cannot buy this, you have to only buy this, and then you have to buy this from me, and then it's almost like bookkeeping. It's
Now,
like
I don't like bookkeeping either. So yeah, but that takes a lot of attention. I have a few now with those chattings, and that they are always trying you out to get conversations or chats for nothing.
yes.
I have one question, but
Okay.
after 2 days, you're thinking, yeah, but that were 10 questions now in one day. So it was almost 15 minutes. So finally, you have to pay again. But that is something that you have to learn when you start a new business. Normally, yeah, people come in, they pay you, you do your thing, and that's it. And now you have to think, oh yeah, I have to do more bookkeeping, and I hate that. I need a slave for that. Is there someone interested? Has to come from the Netherlands then, huh?
Yeah, definitely. Okay, so we have another segment. I mean, we're wrapping stuff up, but I call it BDSM on a budget. Now, I highly wait. Does she wait? He said no to. Does the does the slave Ken said no to his? I don't understand that. No, you're not supposed to say no. That's the point. So
That's the part what I give you when we start. It is mercy and stop.
yeah. So
There's
oh, okay. We have a segment here called BDSM on a budget, which means basically I highly recommend everybody support high-end BDSM products and education and everything like that. But not everybody has the money. You know what I mean? And it's not just about products. Sometimes it's about mind play. Sometimes it's about role play, stuff like that. So for let's say a couple or just two people who just don't have the money but they still want to be kinky, what advice would you give them?
go to the, yeah, we have here Senos,
What is
Blocker. That are all kind of uh, um shops where you can buy all the things for in your kitchen, and
okay?
then you can use the spattle, the wooden things
Spatula.
for, yeah, for you can do from your wash, how you call that, the things that you put on your wash, to put your wash hanging up with. You can put it on your
Oh,
nipple. Oh,
clothespins.
what?
Clothespins.
Yeah, that kind of stuff. You can use knives just to fuck up. Yeah, to mind play, or yeah. What that are things that I don't know the English words for, because you have a lot of things in the kitchen. You can use your electrical toothbrush.
Oh, I didn't. I never thought of that. That was good.
Um, you have those slab things for put your mat from the floor when you clean them with. You can hit with that. You go to the horse riding shop to buy a riding whip. That's not expensive. You can buy that for 10, 12 euros. That's an easy part. Um, yeah, and also the iron things, for making pancakes. That are also very good, very hard also. The
Okay.
plumo, the
Yeah.
plume to dust, the thing to dust that is tickling, and
Yeah. No. No. Those are very original, wonderful ideas. All right. Let's talk about leather, real quick.
yeah.
All right. You love leather. Um, First of all, what is it about leather that you like, as opposed to, say, something like latex or nudity or lingerie or anything like that?
I also like lingerie, but
I'm sure you do, but I'm saying, like, but you have there's tons of information about you loving leather. What is it about leather that you like so much?
what I like about leather is how it smells,
Okay.
how it feels on your skin, the sound that it makes when you're walking.
Yeah, it does. It kind of like squeaks in this
Yeah,
kind of sexy way.
yeah.
Yeah.
And also it stays good for many, 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 many years
Okay.
if you take care of it. So that's are the most important things about leather. And yeah, you can, yeah, like it especially the smell and how it feels when you touch it, when you sit down and you put your hands on your own legs. It feels so great to touch your legs, or when you put your jacket on and you feel the noise, and when you touch it. Yeah, every time when someone is helping you in your coat and you still smell that you're wearing leather.
What's the best way to take care of leather? Because first of all, I do think leather looks cool. I'm I'm not a huge fan of the whole killing animals thing, but leather does look and feel good, and in, I don't know, in the Netherlands, but in America, leather means a whole other thing on top of just the actual physical leather aspect. Like, there are what they call leather families, and it's not it's not just something you wear. It's like a state of mind. It's a
No,
community.
that's not for me. That's not it for me. I
Yeah.
like to wear it, and but I'm also very glad when I can put it off again.
Okay.
There was
So
a time when I was younger that I really loved to wear it almost all the time, but not anymore.
how do you take care of it? Like, what's the best way to take care of it? Like, it's for someone who has no experience at all, right? For someone who has no experience at all with leather, what advice would you give them?
Now, First of all, I always, when I go out, that's the point. Then when you go to a party, that's then the special point where you have to treat it, because then you are. Now you have not anymore with smoking everything. But years ago, you still had the smoking problem. But I always hang out my clothes when I come home at night. I always hang it outside, that I can breathe. And once in the 2 months, I have a special cleaner. And also something when there are some spots, or the color gets a little bit fake, then you take care of it. But it is not a lot of attention, not like rubber, which you have to clean every time, and go in the shower if you come home, and wash it out and powder it and shine it. And I sold all my rubber. I was fed up with it. Too much
Okay.
work. Too much work.
So, all right, rapid fire recommendations, and they don't have to be rapid fire. It's all artistic related, and I know you don't watch many movies or anything like that, but I'm
I, I,
sure
watch, I like movies, but I don't like kinky movies.
you
Um,
no. This doesn't have to be kink related at all.
I,
All right,
like I like a lot of science fiction things. I like Lord
that's
of the
fine. That's fine.
I like Lord of
So,
the Rings, but yeah, huh?
recommend a film.
I like the Lord of the Rings. I like yeah. There are some Dutch movies. This called the Marco Mafia, and you also have Panosa. That
Oh,
are
I gotta
yeah
find
they
out.
are they are quite new, but they are really excited. I like a little bit of a lot of uh, it has to go fast. It has to hurry up. I also like Breaking Bad, example. That's something you know.
Breaking Bad's good. Yeah.
Breaking Bad. That's
What's
also
your
something.
opinion? Isn't Lars von Trier Dutch?
Sorry,
Lars von Trier.
what, you mean out of the movie?
Yeah,
I don't think so.
he's not a Dutch film director.
I don't
He
think
did
so.
Nymphomaniac. He did Melancholia, Breaking the Waves, and then oh my God,
Again,
there,
again, his name?
there's another director called Tom Six who did the Human Centipede.
Oh, I don't know.
Oh yeah.
I never. Wait, I like something, but who is making it? I know Paul van Hoeven. That's the only one, and Ruud van
Okay.
Houw.
All right. Fine. Good. No, that's fine. That's fine.
That's how far it goes.
Okay. Recommend a song.
A song. Yeah, I still like Tonight is Tonight from Shirley Bassey. It's not. That's my lovely
Like
song.
what you like. That's fine. It's great. Okay. Recommend a book.
A book. Phew, I almost never read a book. The last book that I read, I forgot the name. That's really terrible, but it was great. It was written by a customer of mine. So it was a BDSM book. A Lonely Man, I think, if you, een eenzame man was de naam.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right. Recommend a television show.
a television show. I never watched that.
You never watched television?
Yeah, well, I watch television, but is also the singing things. How you call them?
Musicals.
No. The television show. If they compete, who's the best singer? That kind of shows. That sometimes I watch them.
Talent shows.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
I never watch any shows about who can win something or
All right. Recommend a meal.
a meal. Oh, um, what do I really like? Yeah, I have one thing at the moment that is a meatball, and you eat it with
It's one meatball.
Yeah, meatball. But I make special meatballs. My meatballs are the best ones. Really, I
Oh.
make great ones. Ask my aspect ones. They are great. And how you call those things? The red things. What you have
Marinara sauce.
to cook. You have to cook them, and they are really red on your hands.
Marinara sauce.
Sauce? No, not a sauce. It's a vegetable. It's
Peppers.
red. How?
Peppers.
No, 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 no. It is about purple red, and you have to cook it, and then it is quite sweet.
Yeah, those are peppers.
No, it
Yeah.
is not a pepper. It is sweet. It is coming out of the ground, just like a carrot, and also
I
with a lump on the top. And then you have a big ball thing under it, and you have to cook them very well, and then it gets soft and there's very red. And if you put your hands in it, your hands are red the next day still.
pimentos.
Shit, how it's calling? I know from a menu that I knew, but I forgot it. Now,
It's
especially
fine.
that
All
that
right.
is
All right.
really good. You eat that with pistas nuts and with onions and all kind of stuff in it, and you make a great salad of it with rucola and meatball. And that is really my favorite at the moment.
Okay. All
But
right.
it is, yeah, beets. You call it, we call it beets, but
Oh, beets. Yeah, they're beets.
red.
Beets. Yes. Beets. Beets. Yeah. Okay. So
Now,
the final thing before we get to the plugs. Um, this is a word game, basically. So name 3 words. Okay, 3 words,
yeah.
and they all have to start with the same letter, but one of them has to be kink related, and all 3 of them have to be something you love. So, like, I may name something like sleep, showers, and sex. You know what I mean? Or um,
It has
garters.
it has to be kink. It has to be BDSM and
One, only one,
something which. Oh,
only one has to be. So it could be like gardeners, garters, and green leaves. You know, because I do like lettuce. So
you like what?
lettuce. You know, so they have to be. It's 3 words. They all have to start with the same letter, but one of them has to be kink.
Okay.
Any letter you want.
Any letter.
Any letter you want.
Yeah, I cannot imagine, but that is something you didn't write that down.
Yeah, I know. I like to.
Yeah, you like this, but I still have to think now because
It's okay. That's the
I
point.
have to I have to name 3 things, and one thing has to be it has to be the same letter at the beginning. One has to be kink. One thing what I love,
Yes.
and one thing, three
That's it.
things.
No. It just has to be 3 things you love. One of them has to be kink related, but they all have to have the same first 3 letters. That's it.
Okay. Dogs, domina, dungeon.
That works. That works. Oh my God, Mistress Manita, thank you so much. Please stay on the line after we're done. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm not gonna waste your time, and that's one of that's one of the major rules is do not waste the Dom's time. Um,
You don't waste my time because we didn't talk about the party yet.
oh shit. Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, let's talk about that. Okay. All right. Before we get to the plugs, let's talk about the parties. Tell us about this party that you host.
I already host this party almost for 18 years now, and that's in the
And what's
same
it called?
the SM Fetish Play Party from Mistress Manita. And it is on the showboat in Zandijk. That's the same location where my studio is located. And after I was working there for 1.5 years, the showboat swingers club was doing some team nights. And then I asked them, yeah, is it possible for me to host an SM party? Because that was really not in Amsterdam or in the surrounding. There were a lot of kinky parties, but not play parties. You call everything kinky, but here in the Netherlands is kinky a different thing as BDSM.
Okay, interesting.
Kinky, yeah, kinky is more seen and be seen and more sex, dancing, drugs, and my party is also a little bit of those things, but good playrooms, other music into the playrooms, dungeon masters, everything well equipped with needle containers, disinfective stuff, towels, condoms, everything is there. That's the difference, and that is something where I'm very proud of. It is a little bit my second child after the bullwhip. My party is the second one where I'm very proud of, and it's also a party who's very busy and well known in Netherlands, but also outside of the Netherlands. We have some people from America also, but most of them from England and Germany.
And so, when was the last time, because of the pandemic? When was the
The
last time you had like an
13th
actual
of,
party?
13th of March. That was I telling you 10 minutes ago. That it was the evening that I had to choose to do it or to do it not with 100 people. That is the last time I did. It was on the 13th of March. So 2 days before the lockdown here in the Netherlands.
Well, I hope everything works out, and I hope you continue your parties. They sound really fun, and I plan when everything opens up. I plan I've got some really friends. They're really cool and they're really kind. Um, I would love to go to the Netherlands and to be a part of the party.
Then we're going to see each other.
Yeah.
Party is going to start again for now at the 11th of September with
Okay.
90 people. This is much less as normal, but we're going to try it out if it is possible to do it that way because it is a very big club, but you can normally be there with 300 people.
So, sometimes the intimate parties are the best parties. So,
I
you
know,
know,
I know.
yeah.
Yeah,
So
the one in
that's
March was also very good. The people are very enthusiastic about it. So I'm curious what September is going to bring.
oh, I'm curious what the world is going to bring.
Yeah, me too, me too, me too. Yeah,
And
okay.
I hope you and your loved ones are and your friends are happy and safe. And I got to get to the Netherlands. I literally got to get to Amsterdam.
Yeah,
I know I would have a good time, and I'm not talking about sex and drugs. I'm talking about just the culture and the beauty of the culture. You know what I mean. I love different cultures. So please take this time to promote everything and anything you want to promote. Like you sent me all the links. They're all going to be posted, but do not hesitate to do not hesitate to tell them, tell them on this, tell them where to go to find you, whether it's for dominatrix purposes, whether it's for munch purposes, whether it's for party purposes,
yeah,
education purposes, you
I
name it.
do it. I do it all.
I
You can,
know.
yeah,
That's
I do
why
it all. Yeah, I do it
That's why I
all.
was so excited to interview you. So yeah, so just go.
Yeah, go now. Yeah, go. Now, yeah, this is me. You saw a little bit about me. I'm quite. Um, I'm not the typical mistress. I'm a little bit different, and I'm proud of that. Um, I have two websites. One is for the BDSM studio and for the party, and there you can find everything what I do and don't do. If you have questions, you always can send me an email or call me. I always give an answer my email in 2 days. Calls I pick up when I can. The other website, the .nl website, is more for the online sessions, the chat and calling sessions. If you like that, if you want to speak to me again or ask me something, feel free to see that website. And I think Nicolas will put it down also. You can look it up later. I have an Instagram where you can follow me. I have an Facebook website of a page and where you can follow me also. Um, I think that was everything what I use at social media. Um, yeah.
Okay, wonderful. So when it comes to videos, because a lot of people are doing like domination online and stuff like that. Um, I'm very curious about how people are being creative during the coronavirus, and what is your most popular request?
Now it was quite interesting that the most of the people who are coming to me for webcam sessions are couples, and then couples who are giving me away to them submissive as a present, and that was about 3 4 times that I was the gift. So that was quite interesting. And then you get yeah, from the woman, the mistress in that case, you get a list from the things that they have in the house and what he likes and what the triggers are and what he don't likes, and then it's on me to do something nice with it.
That's interesting. And Erin was she sent me a question which I forgot to ask, is that um, how do you deal with the couples as opposed to just one person, like a male? You know what I mean? Because it's a totally different dynamic. Obviously, I mean it's similar, but it's different. How do you differentiate between that?
You mean if I do a session with both of them?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, most of the time, most of the time, the women is submissive. That's my experience. And the guys, but I'm always very good with the dominant guys because they always want to listen to me. That's it's quite interesting how that works.
So
I think
you're dominant with the dominant guys.
now they come to learn something, and if you don't listen, you don't learn anything.
Good point. Good
Yeah,
point.
you can tell me how good you know, but you're not for nothing come to my studio. You come to my studio because there is something missing and you want to learn it. So pay attention, shut up, and just watch.
Yeah. Right up. Pay attention, shut up, and just watch.
Yeah,
Um, that. Oh wait, I gotta write that down. I gotta write that. Pay attention. Shut up and just watch. Wise words from a very wise woman. Oh my God. Please, like I said, please stay on the line. I would love to talk with you a little more. I'm not going to waste your time. Um, it would be very short. check me out at yourkinkyfriends.com. Check me out on YouTube. Just look up Nicholas Tanek. Check me out on Twitter at Nicholas Tanek. Check me out on Instagram at Nick Tanek. And then there's also Friends Kinky. My crew runs Instagram and Twitter at Friends Kinky. At both Instagram and Twitter. We have a secret group called YKF on Facebook. We have a Discord chat group that you can get through yourkinkyfriends.com. And oh my God, it's getting late, my friends. My Dom is calling me. Remember the cardinal rule: be cool, be kind, and keep an open mind. Take care, everybody.
See you.